we get to break this glass ceiling that still does exist for women, even business owners, women in business, of like, it's not a bad thing to want to make money. It's actually one of the most beautiful things that you can do because it will amplify who you are. You have more resources. So like what would it look like if we just stopped pretending that we want to make more money and we just went and made more money and enjoyed it?
Mompreneurs, it's not business, baby. It's business and babies. Whether you're rocking the carpool line, building your business during nap time, or dreaming big after bedtime, we've got the tools, tips, and strategies to help you grow your business. Grab a snack, your headphones, and enjoy this time with us because mom life and boss life deserve balance.
Nellie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm definitely excited, especially that in today's episode, we're going to be talking about memberships. What?
Let's go. You know, that's one of my favorite topics.
Yes.
So excited.
I am beyond excited because a lot of our peoples too, a lot of our audiences are interested in opening up memberships. Some of them have memberships. So before we get into it though, tell us a little bit about you, how you started, right? And where you are now from, back then to now. Give us,
Yes.
girl.
I will give you the shortest version so we can like get into the juiciness, but it is important to know like where somebody comes from. So I started a nonprofit organization when I was 16 for kids with cancer. I built that from the ground up for 10 years, raising millions of dollars, which still sounds wild to say out loud. And I was flying by the seat of my pants. I knew nothing about marketing. I knew nothing about fundraising. It really is proof that when you are passionate about something, you can move mountains. You don't have to know the whole staircase. You just have to have that passion. And then what I realized after a decade of building that, blood, sweat, tears, I loved so much of it. It was so rewarding, but you don't go into nonprofit to get wealthy personally. And so as I was a young woman graduating college, I really started to realize I want to get married, have a family, and I like expensive things. So I need more money. And so, for the first time in my like true life, I got selfish and said, as much as I've loved building this organization, it's time to pass it off. It's time for my next chapter. I soon after got pregnant with our daughter. And it's funny how the universe and God always like, okay, you say you want this, like we're going to move you forward. And so I was able to successfully pass off the organization to the next leadership team. And I had no idea what I was going to do next. I like to say that coaching and mentoring found me because women just started coming to me saying like, hey, I saw what you built and I want some help. And I would just get on calls with women and walk them through step by step and problem solve. And it really became a passion of mine to help women succeed. And I started planning retreats and it just, again, organically built over time. And what's so fun about this journey is without really knowing it, I've had memberships since day one of my online business. I was literally, as we were going into labor and delivery with my daughter, I was mailing things to our members as like welcome gifts. And my husband's like, only you would have me drop off gifts at the post office before we like go in and get induced. And so I've had reoccurring revenue in my business since day one, which is essentially what a membership is. It's predictable income with something specific that you are helping members. And I didn't start in the business space necessarily. I did more like health and fitness coaching. And then I moved into more business because I love brainstorming. I love marketing now. I love launching. I love like advertising. I love all things business. And so it just made sense to like go all in with business support. And so over the years, I've had lots of different memberships. And now what's so beautiful is I tell people, I know how to get results. I care more about getting you results now. Like I've been there. I've done the big launches. I've done really cool things over the years. Really, my legacy at this point is really massively pouring into others' memberships with my own hands and like building them up. So we have a revenue share partnership. It's essentially a lot like Shark Tank in our own way, where we become partners and I handle the marketing, they handle the actual membership because that's what people want. Like they're really good at servicing people and taking care of people. But so many people have come to me, and I'm sure you see this too. They're like, I want to claw my eyes out when it comes to like marketing my thing. And so it's just been really, really fun to get this off the ground and be like, I've got you. Like, let's do this. I'm very results driven. I've been since day one. In order to grow a nonprofit organization, like it's the hardest sales job in my opinion. So I'm not afraid of putting in the work, and I get really excited when those results come alive. So that's really where we're at now. And it's been a wild ride. It's been so fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for your story and your journey, right? Your
Yeah.
experiences. Same thing kind of like happened to me where people were reaching out, especially for social media strategy and things like that. People were reaching out to me with that, both web design and social media. So I just stayed in that wheelhouse and in that world and stuff like that. And when did you like, okay, so you said from the beginning. So for me too, I've always had that recurring income stream. I definitely always recommend a recurring income stream. I feel as though as mom entrepreneurs, like we need stability. And how can we create stability if we don't have like a recurring income stream, whether it's retainer clients or, a service that you're putting out each and every single month. I think it's something that a lot of entrepreneurs should consider when growing a business, because it's allowed me to stay in business through the ups through the downs, all of that, because of that recurring income stream. I don't know if it's been like that for you, but
Yes.
definitely it's been like that for
Yes.
me.
100%. I tell people all the time, I went through postpartum depression twice. Now I have two kids. There is no way I would still be in business without my reoccurring revenue, because
Right.
there were times where I couldn't continue
Yeah.
to go lead gen.
Eh,
Even with paid advertising and automations, I, you still need to be involved in the process. And I just didn't have the capacity. And I'm very, very grateful that that's always been a priority without always knowing why. Like I always gravitated towards it. And so I don't know anything different. And, I don't know if you feel this way, but I've been kind of spoiled. Like I don't know a business without reoccurring revenue. Like
mm,
I like those payment notifications, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think as women, we get to embrace. I just heard this on a reel the other day. Like you start a business to make money. And I feel like we sometimes like hide
mm,
that and downplay that as women. And it's like, we get to break this glass ceiling that still does exist for women, even business owners, women in business, of like, it's not a bad thing to want to make money. It's actually one of the most beautiful things that you can do because it will amplify who you are. You have more resources. So like what would it look like if we just stopped pretending that we want to make more money and we just went and made more money and enjoyed it?
yeah, I always tell people too, like entrepreneurship is a journey of self-discovery. You're gonna see where you're holding yourself back in certain areas. It could be in marketing, it could be in visibility, it could be, because I don't know about you. I remember there were times that I would show up, show up, show up, and then I would just be burnt out of showing up, and I didn't want to show up anymore. I felt too visible. I had all these comments, and it could be very overwhelming, right?
Yes, it's so true. It's so true. I was telling my husband not too long ago, I was like, why do I have to be so ambitious? It was like, a hard day. And he just started laughing because that's how I've been wired that way for decades. Like I'm just a naturally ambitious woman, but I feel like it's part of my calling. Like I feel like I have to be. Like it's almost like
Yeah.
wrong if I'm not, like because other women are looking at me. And I take a lot of pride in that. Like I want to be as best of a role model as I possibly can be. I think it's just so important because, yeah, this journey, you have no room to hide because you're 100% commission. Whether you have reoccurring revenue or not, no matter what, if you say you're going to be an entrepreneur, I like to say that's like you have an oath, just like a doctor, just like an attorney, just like a teacher. They are bound by these duties, these obligations. And I feel like sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're like, oh, yeah, I'll become an entrepreneur. That sounds so fun. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of perks. And also, this is a job. This is a responsibility. It is going to test you.
Yeah.
There are going to be hard days and really good days. And it's just so important to just embrace it all.
Right. It's absolutely true. I mean, like you said, you have the good days, the bad days, the slow, the high. And I don't know how other people do it without that recurring income.
Yes.
You know, truthfully, just
Yes.
because I know how it's like impacted me, it stabilized things for me. All my bills within my business get paid. Anything additional is like bonuses and things like that. You know, new client comes in. I'm not chasing after clients, right? I think that's the part. Also, you don't have to chase anything. You're just showing up. That's really the strategy. And then letting like, because I don't know about you, because in developing that recurring income stream, you kind of like value the lifetime cycle of a client instead of like that one time, right? No, there's like lifetime value, right? Instead of just thinking like, oh, it's one and done. No, it's more of a longevity mentality.
Absolutely. And truthfully, it's not just the business that benefits. When other people say, yes, like I'm in, whether that be for done for you services or a membership, things take time. So it's actually one of the best decisions for your buyer to work with
to be
you
taken care
long-term.
of. Yeah.
Yes.
To be taken care of, because there are a lot of scammers, right? There are a lot of
Yes.
people that say they know what they do and they don't. And then they come to you and they're like, thank you so much. You know, I'm so glad I met you. Right.
Yes.
I love that. You know, yeah.
Yes, 100%. And it takes time to get to know somebody, start getting them results. Like, yes, we want to move as quickly as possible, but when we already know we've got that longevity, like you mentioned, I feel like everyone's nervous system can just kind of like breathe and be like, all right, I like you, I trust you, I know you can get results. This is what I need help with. And then we move forward together. It's the best hack ever.
Yeah. And then also what I've learned is you have to get to know someone because there's certain blocks, right? They don't want to do that Facebook strategy. They don't want to do that IG strategy, right? They don't like it. They've judged because they judge other people's marketing, that they're judging their own marketing, and it's hard for them to show up because of all the marketing judgment. That's what I've seen. Like, okay, it's going to be hard work. It's not easy like you think it is, right?
Yes.
I think it's a lot easier than what it actually is. Especially with people like, you know, these big launches and these big things, but there's usually a method to the madness.
100%. Yeah. I take a lot of pride in being vulnerable in my spaces and on social media because there's too many people on the internet showing just the highlight reel. Like, oh, like you mentioned, like, oh, I had this huge launch. I'm like, well, let me tell you everything that went wrong in this launch. And yes, we had this huge launch. And let me tell you what this launch costs.
Yeah, because girl, but you had a good one. You had a good highlight where you had a plaque from Stan, right? The 100K plaque from Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, but I think I bet it was. And not only that, you know, sometimes people can, well, you're a business coach, right?
Yes.
And coaching other women and stuff like that and putting those type of things out there. I think that's amazing that you do because it just shows that you are a trusted place too. So it's not to knock, you know, all these launches because there are people with great launches, amazing launches. Like I do case studies, you know, within my membership. Okay, so let's talk about memberships.
I'm ready for you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to tell you kind of like my people's journey. So they come in.
Okay.
They come in. They grow with the bundles and summits, right?
Okay.
They validate their offer, they see what they're going on, and then they immediately want to launch a membership.
Okay. Great.
Okay. So where would they start though? Like when someone's considering and opening up a membership, where like is it going to change along the road? Is it going to stay the same? Are there going to be pivots? Are they not going to be pivots?
Yeah. You know, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So are they deciding this before they're doing their summit and bundle or after?
After.
Okay, because this is where like my strategy brain goes into play. We should really flip that because they could seed the focus of the membership during the whole summit, the whole bundle, make sure the bundle is positioned to like complement the membership, and same thing with the summit. So I think them taking some time before and be like, even if they don't have like the logistics and like tech and all those things, but just a vision of like, I would love a membership about helping moms after having baby lose the baby weight, or just, get that glow up is probably a better way to word that. Because then the summit or the bundle could be all about that. And then we already know that's what the membership is going to be about. So that way everything's very cohesive. And then when they pitch the membership, people are like, yeah, take my money. Like they're
Right.
already sold because that's why they were coming into the summit or the bundle. So that would be my first suggestion. And then from there, we do want to decide. So I always say, turn your passion into your paycheck. This cannot be just about chasing money. So yes, I did just recently say on the podcast, we get to embrace that this is about money, but it can't be the only thing. You will burn out.
You'll give up if that's
You
the
will.
only thing.
You absolutely will. There is no way after almost 9 years in the online space, I would still be standing if I was just here for money. There's just no way.
Yeah.
I've seen it all. I've experienced it all.
No, yes. Samesies. Samesies.
So-
I would not be still in business if it wasn't because a calling, number one, feeling
Yep.
like it's almost like you want to give up, but you can't.
Yes, exactly. Like on my hardest days, I'm like, I would do anything to give up, but you just can't. Like you literally feel like you can't.
I
And
learned
that's
to
quite
say
possible.
I just need a nap and a snack like Elijah. I just need a break. And whenever I say to myself, like, man, I want to give up, I'm like, oh, I'm just tired. I've learned I'm just tired and I just want to.
No, same here. Yeah. And typically, like, we're kind of going on a tangent, but I think that this is important. Like, typically in that moment, I'm like, give me a quick win. Like, and I want to create a quick win. So I'll do like a giveaway, or I'll go for a run, or I will go, add something to my membership and surprise my members. I'll go, on Facebook Live and just teach for a little bit because I know that like lifts my spirits. So a lot of times when we're feeling like quitting, what I have found is our entrepreneur energy bucket is empty, or it's close to empty. So all we need to keep doing is just like, okay, how can I fill this tank back up and get it overflowing? Because that's when entrepreneurship feels the best. Like I was looking forward to this all day. Like I love stuff like this. We're just chit-chatting. We know that this is going to help somebody. Like, like I can't not have a great moment in this moment, right? So it's like needing more of that on my calendar is
I get it. I get it. I guess you got to figure out what fills you up. For me, it's a hit or miss with meetings. It's like sometimes at the end, I can feel light and airy, or I can feel very, very heavy.
Yeah.
Like,
Pay attention to why. Yeah. There's a reason why.
I just can't figure it out. I can't figure it out.
Keep tracking it and just like write clues down. It'll come to you. It could be the topic that you're talking about. It could be the work that you're going to have to do after. It could be the time of day.
Right.
It could be a part
of
your cycle. Your cycle. Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. So just track.
It could be that. It could be that. Now that I'm like tracking, like I'm doing the whole tracking my cycle and things like that. I'm seeing there's certain days of the week I have very big energy, and then certain I have like I'm just cranky.
Yes. It's fascinating to track. Yes, we'll get back on track.
We're digressing. But
I know, but it was good. It was good. Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
So, because I'm still trying to figure out, I'm going to be honest and vulnerable here, because I'm still trying to figure out my membership.
Yeah,
so,
let's do it.
Number one, how should someone structure their membership?
Yes, my favorite question. Okay. So we want to package your passion into your membership. Now, women are passionate about a lot of different things. So I actually take people through an exercise in my workshop, and I can link it for you in this episode if you'd like. It's totally free. But the goal here is to really decide on the passion, if you will. So like mine is marketing. Like I could talk about marketing all day long. So it doesn't surprise me that my whole business is packaged around that. And equally, there's a lot of other things that I'm passionate about, but not as much as that. So really pinpointing for people, what is that topic? Because once we have that, whether it's sourdough baking or it's health and fitness, if it is cleaning and organizing your house, there's something that you're obsessed with more than anything else that you're like, you can't shut me up about this. Like, I will talk about this all day, every day. So once we know that topic, then we package up that passion into your membership very easily. Okay. So you're passionate about this topic, but a lot of people aren't. So the tricky part here is people want the result that you can get them. It's all about them, right? So let's take cleaning and organizing your house. You may love cleaning and organizing your house because for whatever reason you enjoy it, it's therapeutic, etc. We need to get in the mind of your ideal buyer. Well, why would they care about cleaning and organizing their home? And if it's a mom, right? So if it's a mom, she wants a peaceful home. Okay. I can riff all day long about this stuff.
I've been obsessed with the question I used to get a lot. How do you get clients?
Okay.
And so a lot of my marketing is towards that kind of like getting clients, get people in your world, making the sale, things like that.
Okay.
So that's been kind of like, I guess, like my mission. I just want people to be profitable, right? I want you to be profitable. I want you to be ridiculously good at. That's my thing. So
let's take that.
Okay.
So why would your ideal buyer care about getting clients?
To grow their business.
But why do they want to grow their business? What do you hear from them?
They want more time, right?
Okay.
Moms, right? We want more time.
Okay.
They don't like marketing. They don't want to show up on social media all the time, right? And they don't want to sell all the time.
Okay.
And so they always wonder, like, Linda, how are you doing it? Because I don't sell like that. I don't sell all the time. I'm not pushing a sale. I do strategic launches, right? I'm sure you do as well, Nellie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so I'm trying to finesse my membership. So I've noticed that it's hard for them to really think of the work of a bundle. So I got to meet them where they're at. And it's when they come in, they want to know about social media.
How fast could you get them a new client, in your opinion? If they were like a go-getter, they already had like the skills there.
Same day, because usually people they already know who they can help that same day. They already know, like, oh, I know someone that would be a perfect fit for this. Pitch.
I love that. I love this. Okay, so this is really sexy. So the goal of a membership is you're passionate about this stuff, but they aren't. So I like to think about this of like with our kids, we have to like hide the veggies, right?
right.
And like
hide the hard work.
Exactly. So, and not in a bad way, but we have to present the dessert first. Okay. So it's really sexy to say, I could help you get a client by end of today. Join my membership and I'll walk you through the steps. That's sexy. Like, yes, there's back end things that they're going to have to learn later, but getting that quick win, one, is already going to give them that return on investment of the membership, no matter what you price it, which I typically suggest anywhere from $47 to $97 a month. No contracts, they can stay as long as they want, but I guarantee you, if somebody joined and you could help them get a client that fast,
or they can use social media to get clients, but I don't know, you can't really guarantee it, right? Because you never know what they're selling.
Yes, but you set the framework up. It's kind of like, think about a box of brownies. If I go off the recipe, they can't guarantee that the brownies are going to taste how they should. But if I follow that recipe to a T, those brownies are going to be ooey and gooey and delicious and amazing. And so it's less about guaranteeing and more about, this is what I know works. Follow my framework. Every time somebody follows my framework, it's non-emotional, right? It's our emotions that get in the way of the framework. It's our lack of discipline that's getting in the way. So when you can really sell your membership based on frameworks, based on recipes, right? Like this is what works. Obviously, there's lots of things that work, but this is what I'm teaching you in here that works. Follow the recipe. It's super helpful because then they're just like, okay, step 1, step 2. Okay, this is what I do next. And that's the first reason why people buy a membership is for the curriculum, for a very specific result. So that's what we package up first in the membership. The second part of the reason why people buy a membership is there's some sort of live experience 1 to 2 times a month. This can be anything from a guest training, or excuse me, a guest trainer. It can be a new training, like a topic that you're like, this isn't in there and I want to drop it in there. It can be a Q&A call. It can be you reviewing people's, pitches, funnels, etc.
Right. Their profiles. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
My question is engagement. That's hard.
Engagement in the membership?
In the membership.
Okay. Yeah, I have a hack for that. You want to hear?
Okay. Yes, I do. I totally do.
So we're going to gamify your membership.
Ah.
So in my membership, based on their results, they get rewards.
Okay.
People are very competitive. Like think about I don't know if you have Cycle Bar or Orange Theory, but all of these places have internal competition because people just naturally want to compete, and not in a bad way, but you do this result, you get this reward. And it's anything from they get a hat to we'll make graphics for them. I try to infuse fun things with things that I know will also serve and support them. They get a private call with me type of thing.
I have another question.
Yeah, go for it. I'm here for this. I like this.
Let me go through my thought process. Okay. So number 1, what are you passionate about? What is it that you can talk all day about? What are you obsessed about? That when it comes easy to you, maybe harder to someone, right? Package that thing, make it juicy, package that thing up. Because that's a whole thing right there. As marketers, you already know, right? We can go all day into really outlining that, depending on the person's personality. Okay, the next thing, we packaged it up. What is the next thing? We're launching it, right? We're launching it. Let's say we did the membership. Yeah. Now what do we scream it out through the rooftops? What do we do? How do we introduce?
Yeah. So the framework that I teach is, since we know the first 10 members feel like the hardest because it's proof of concept. It's proof of concept for your brain. It's proof of concept in the marketplace. It feels scary to put yourself out there, and more importantly, putting your art out there. So what I like to do to combat that is what I call a secret launch. You would go to a handful of people that are already pretty deep into your network, and you would do a couple different things depending on your flavor of marketing. But what I would do is send voice notes and say, oh my gosh, girl, I've been, behind the scenes working on this. I am obsessed. This is going to launch very soon. But I wanted to give you first dibs to check it out. I do think it would benefit you for these reasons, and I would have valid reasons based on past conversations that we've had. And then I always teach people in sales, you end with a question, because when we end with a question, our brain is naturally going to respond more than just a statement. So I would say something along the lines of would you like me to send you the link? Or would you like me to tell you a little bit more about this? And then that person responds back, oh my gosh, yes. So then we tell them a little bit more about it, and we give them an incentive to create urgency. So join by, XYZ date, which would be in the next few days, and you'll snag a private call with me, for example. Right. We do the secret launch until we get the 10 members.
Okay.
We do not announce it publicly until we get our 10 members.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good. Okay. So I totally did not do that. So I'm going to tell you what I did.
Hey, tell me.
And for the listeners, so what I did I did a challenge, and then it was kind of like a 6-month experience for XYZ price. So it wasn't kind of like
Okay.
a month-to-month price, but for that 6 months, it was this price point, right?
Yeah.
I got my 10 members in with that. The thing I noticed, it's hard to keep people engaged and it's hard for people to do the work, especially when there's a small group for whatever reason. I don't know if it's maybe a larger group is different. So that's one way I did that. And that was great.
Okay.
Another
Awesome.
way that I did it, by mistake, I invited people that took one of my courses and I invited them, like I invited them into the membership because I was moving things around. And by
Yeah.
mistake, invited them into the membership for free. So they had like a free 30-day. Yeah.
I've done stuff like that. So
I did that. And then a whole bunch of people came in. I was like, oh, shoot, what am I doing? And then the other way that I did it was also giving also kind of like that free trial when it came to a bundle and having that as one of the things. And then I had some people come in through there. So, but I don't know, I think it was a mistake doing the free trial, because they're not as invested as someone that is more in the paid. And then, and then I'm still having kind of like, I'm still juggling like engagement,
Yeah.
and all of that. And I did sit down with them and did the whole market research and say, hey, what's going on? Da, 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 da. What do you want to see and all that? And engagement is the number one thing that I'm receiving from my members.
Like they want to engage with other members.
Yeah, like they want more engagement. They don't want to engage. They want other people to engage. They just want to be lurkers.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so I would enroll people and ask them, hey, I will gift you a membership, and my only ask is you post twice a week and you check in with your progress.
That's good.
It's such a win-win. They're getting a free membership. You're getting
facilitating engagement. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like a moderator or a cheerleader. And it does depend on the person. So like be mindful of like who you're asking for that, because if you're like, they're not going to be, they're not
someone that wants it.
accountable.
Someone that wants to be in the membership. Like, oh man, I've been wanting to, but maybe some, price was an issue or something like that.
Correct. So they become your cheerleaders, your ambassadors, the people to help, energize the group. So if that's feedback that you're hearing, my strategy brain would go to immediately that solution of like, let's try this.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, engagement has helped a ton in my world by me going live and doing micro trainings with my paid members. They love it. It's they get their like Nellie dose and they don't have to get on Zoom. Sometimes Zoom is the issue. People are kind of tired of Zoom. Yeah, they're zoomed out, but they want that live interaction. And so when I can go live and I'm just riffing on a topic, I've been doing that for over a year with our members, and they have given so much powerful feedback on like, I could listen to you all day. I get so much energy from it. So I prompt people to comment in the comments, and then they're engaging in the actual training without having to like show their face. So that could be something you also do to position you as the leader in the membership. And they're just like, and that alone can keep the retention so high.
No, it does. It does. I'm behind one of my clients and she has a membership. She's amazing, doing great.
Yeah.
And lives is what she does every single week. Boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
And that's what that's what keeps the engagement. That's what keeps member wanting more. It's very fruitful. And that's why I'm going to be doing social media lives inside my membership, because that's what people want. So I'm like, I might as well.
Yeah, like totally. Like when we're packaging anything up as a digital offer, give them what they want.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. I can either shut down my membership and do a fresh launch, with something else, or I can reinvigorate it.
Reinvigorate it.
Right. That's what I.
When I come into people's memberships, it's like renovating. It's so much easier to typically renovate a house than like sell and move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done that many times myself. I help members do that. It honestly can help retention too, because people are like, fresh energy. I thought I was going to cancel, but now like this is fun. This is exciting. It's new. So it can be very strategic and like bringing them along the process too of like, hey, this is our grand opening. We've got prizes, we've got extra Zoom calls. Like it doesn't have to be forever, but like, amp up the energy in the group because energy is always reflected back to us. So if we're super excited, not everyone, but more members will just naturally be more excited. And that alone can just skyrocket retention and, of course, results for members. And
that's my goal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Result, man. I want you to get the results.
Yes. So I would always ask you first, how can I be more excited about this? And then how can I help members be more excited? And that's why I do the gamify system because people are just naturally excited to win prizes. Like we're children at heart. Like we want to go to like, Dave and Buster's and win the prizes and be like, look at me. Recognition is also great. So like I have a client that is becoming debt free with her membership. And I'm like, let's do an interview. Let's talk about this. Let's showcase you. So just like public recognition and even inside recognition in the group of like who's most active and, just giving that praise. A lot of people are really motivated by that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's an art, is what I'm realizing. It's definitely an art. It's definitely different from than just getting clients or building something or, getting people excited for something because it has to have an engagement strategy. It has to have, certain structure. But yeah, that's one of the things that I've seen is kind of like going in live weekly is kind of like if you want engagement, you have to be the leader on engagement. And that's going in live. All right, let's talk about so we talked about kind of like having a juicy membership idea that we're obsessed with.
Yeah.
We talked about kind of like getting your first 10 members. After that, what happens?
Yeah. I'm glad you asked. So from there, we really map out a predictable strategy because if we want predictable income, why would we not have a predictable strategy as well? Like, let's match the energy. And so what I advise people is two different paths. Either the workshop path, where you're going to run a free workshop over and over and over again. It's the same workshop, right? In and out, under 90 minutes. It's less bro marketing and it's so much more like, let me just serve you. Like, let me show you at what's possible for you. Let me give you that aha. So that's my way of running workshop. It's so much less about here's the offer stack and let me like, knock down all of your objections. Like women are smart. Like we know what we want, but sometimes we just need that bridging of the gap to like understand more of whatever this concept is.
Sometimes it takes a workshop to get someone
to. It does.
Yeah.
It does. But it's less about the icky sales strategy and it's so much more.
It's just about serving. Exactly. It's just about serving. You get to ask their questions. Love it. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. I see the same thing with the challenge. The same thing.
Yes. And that's the second path. So the second path is the challenge path. You can intermingle them and like go back and forth. I typically advise people to go the workshop route first because, as you know, challenges, they are a lot of work. They're multiple days. There's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
So I do advise people to go the workshop route first, and then they can like weave in like a challenge. I've done both of them. I love them both, but I think conversions can happen typically much faster in a workshop. Because it's just, again, it's less back and forth. You show up, you blow their mind by the end, you offer, an invitation to the membership, you give a 48-hour fast acting bonus of some sort. And that works very, very well. I've even done the strategy of like, hey, here's this workshop. Come, we do that strategy. And then like a week later, I do what's called an encore, where I summarize everything that I just taught, like give them like the Spark Notes version, but then it's a whole call on Q&As. Doing both in one call for me is just too much energy. Like teaching and then doing like a really long Q&A, I'm just wiped by the end.
Right.
So
right.
I found give them enough to create those ahas, open up the window for the 48 hours. Then obviously you're following up with people in that time frame and then coming back on, which you could even do the encore within that 48-hour window if you have the capacity. But typically I do it a week later, and then I'll offer a different fast acting bonus that's not as premium, if you will. And then they have another 48 hours to join within there. And I saw really great conversions with both of those strategies together, because it's like people are like marinating in between. And then I
so
found
they get a chance to catch up and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally. And some people, they have a very short attention span. So sitting there for 90 minutes learning is not always ideal for most people. So if they can come on and it's just more like chit chatty, that vibes with some people. So I find that the styles are different. And so it speaks to different people's learning styles. And then a great strategy is having something that's about to kick off in your membership soon after this strategy. So, for example, when I did this exact strategy, we were about to kick off like a 90-day sales sprint. And that created a lot of excitement and urgency for people where they're like, well, I want to be a part of that sales sprint. Like, I'm in. So being strategic with your live curriculum, if you will, inside the membership, and then pairing that with your launch strategy can work really well. Some people go back and forth. Should I do an open and closed cart type of thing?
Right. Evergreen or...
Yeah. I have mixed emotions about that because I think everyone is different. What I like to like think about is like somebody could join my membership if they really wanted to anytime. I have live launches that I'm doing. That's when I'm going to see the biggest like spike. So I like to take that approach, because if somebody finds me on a podcast, I don't want them to be like, I'm ready to go, and then they click and they can't join. Just that's my personal opinion, because when I'm that way and I can't join something, I'm kind of annoyed, and then I get like uninterested. So I want to like go and join, and think about it this way. Gyms are super successful and they have no open and closed cart. They are, you could go into a gym today and enroll today. So I like to have an abundant mindset of like, I don't need this lax strategy of like, if you don't join right now, you can't get in for like months to come or weeks to come. Like, but what I like to do instead is I'm going to reward people that take quick action and give you, and give you a bonus. That feels better to me. So I think it's just more so a personal opinion than anything else, but I just don't vibe with those. Now, for our VIPs, we do have cohorts, and that's just more for logistic reasons. I have to onboard them. And so that makes more sense for them.
Yeah, those are different. Yeah, because I did, like I said, like I did that 6-month cohort type of deal. Went really well. Got a lot of market research on that one. So now I'm able to kind of like offer, like know when I'm offering those cohorts, because I'm more involved with the members, right?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Where can people find you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I'm most active. I'm like a granny. I'm most active on Facebook. You can find me at Mentor Nellie. You can also find me at Mentor Nellie on IG. I'm becoming cooler on IG. I'm really stepping up my IG game. But yeah, those are the two main like social places that I like to hang out. But yeah, just send me a DM, say, hey, do you have questions about memberships? This is like such a love of mine and a passion of mine. And I just want to see more women make more money. And I've gotten much louder about, instead of like all these different ways, like this is the path that I know that is the most easiest to make money, fastest in regards to like, it's not super time consuming, Like anyone can do this, really, if they want to. And so, even if you have a day job right now, even if you have one-on-one clients, even if you're home with the kiddos, why not start a membership? Like in just a few hours a week, like you can build a very thriving, amazing feel-good membership. So like, why not?
Right. It is a little bit of a no-brainer.
It is, and I think women should always have their own money.
No, thank you so much for sharing, because of course there's a method to the madness. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing your heart with us and sharing some really amazing, actionable steps. Yes. I can't wait. I'm excited for you. Y'all have to keep me updated. I'm happy to help you. Let's get this off the ground. Yeah, I'm trying to get it off the ground, girl. Let's do it.